What is up, everybody? What is going on? This is another episode. So wait, let me lower the volume down here a bit. What is up, everybody? My name is Anthony, and of course, this is VR 365. What is going on today? It is Thursday. It is November 7th, and we're actually 5 minutes before 5. But you know what I think I'm going to start doing with these Thursday shows is I might actually start them as much as 10 minutes ahead of schedule. And the reason for that is I'm going to get hungry. I'm going to get hungry, and we want to try to do these longer episodes. I didn't have a very big lunch, and I didn't have like a late afternoon snack. So I know I'm going to run out of time here. So I figure, why wait until 5? Let's just get the show on the road. Let's just go ahead and start things up. And so that is what we're doing. Today's episode going to be a bit of a shiz show. In fact, not going to be. It really is going to be a shiz show, which is disappointing, especially when you think, come on, Anthony, you've got an entire week. You've got an entire week to do this, and you don't do any show prep. Why? Why are you doing this? Why are you so crazy? The truth of the matter is, basically, I've got some things going on in my personal life. There's things going on in the background, and it's very stressful. Not a good time right now, honestly. But I will continue to try to bang away at this thing. But some days I'm just going to have to pop up on here and just do the show and just wing it. And that's kind of the situation that we're in. The other thing I did want to say, too, is I will be having an episode this Sunday on Twitch, 11:30 a.m. on Sunday. It is a Sunday type of a deal. So every Sunday on Twitch, 11:30 a.m., and every Thursday on YouTube at 5 p.m. We're talking Pacific time, of course, when we're talking about this stuff. All right, so why don't we go ahead and just get into the show proper, and we'll work it out as we go along. So the first thing I wanted to do is I want to jump over to, let's jump over to Steam for a second and just see like the games that are coming out, because it's hot and it's heavy. There's a lot of games. There's a lot of things happening. So let's go ahead and bounce over to the webinar. And this will be my first time on the webinar. Hopefully everything is working properly. Yeah. Okay, so here we are. This is, of course, virtual reality games on Steam. And this is what you get. And you can see Payday 2. Payday 2 VR is having a free weekend. And it starts now. It starts right now. You can see we have 3 days for this deal. You could also buy Payday 2 for the low price, Payday 2 VR, low price of $5 buccarinis. But you can go ahead and try it out for the entire weekend, which is a good idea. I got to tell you, when Payday 2 VR first came out, everybody was ranting and raving all around the VR gaming community. Everybody was abuzz about it. People were super psyched about Payday 2 VR, and it was like a really big deal. I was never a Payday guy, but I am a VR guy, and I did get into Payday. In fact, I had Payday 2 for free for some. I believe Payday 2 was available. You could get it for free for a while, and I had Payday 2. And I played it in VR a number of times, and probably the most impressive thing about Payday 2 VR is that if you squint your eyes the right way and you look around at everything, you could be like, I'm in Grand Theft Auto, man. I'm in Grand Theft Auto. It almost looks like a New York kind of a city or something, and it's like you're in Grand Theft Auto. But I could never get into Payday 2 because for me, chaos, absolute chaos, mass hysteria. Like, I would be in Payday 2 and there's just too much crap. There's just too much stuff going on. Too many guys running this way, guys running that way, shooting submachine guns at me. And I was like, nah, man, it's too crazy. It's too hectic. I can't deal with it. So I never really got into Payday 2, but people swear by it. People love it. In fact, I believe Philly G really loves it. He might be in chat right now as we speak. I don't know. Maybe he's not here yet. But I know he's a real big fan of Payday 2, and I know a lot of people really love Payday 2. I just never did it for me, but I understand the appeal. And Slayblaze in chat says, yeah, Payday 2 was free for a while on Steam. Kind of decent free game. Hussein X had a really bad week last week. Yeah, I'm kind of having a really bad week this week. And, but, you know, I'm going to go ahead and deal with it. Oh, I forgot I left my door open, but that's okay because you know what? I need a little bit of cold air. I normally have a fan and I still have a fan, but it doesn't work. It doesn't want to work for me anymore. So that sucks a little bit because when I turn on all these lights, it does get a bit hot up in the hizzies. Okay, so today is November 7th. It's a pretty big day. It is the arrival of Pistolwhip. Let's go ahead and check out our buggy whips. So here we go. Pistolwhip, very positive. 69 reviews, a magical number, and released today, November 7th. Now, certainly one of the big questions with Pistolwhip is the price. We didn't know. We didn't know what the price was going to be. I don't think this information got out ahead of time. At least if it did, I wasn't aware of it. And it's always interesting. We've had these pricing discussions ad nauseum, right? You guys are probably sick of the pricing discussions. And Pistolwhip, of course, you know, it's always interesting to see what happens here. And Pistolwhip coming in at $24.99, 25 bucks. And I actually think probably a good idea, probably a decent idea by Cloudhead Games, because basically they could have priced this game at $19.99 and everybody would have been happy about that. And people would be like, oh yeah, 20 bucks, $19.99. You know, it's kind of an impulse buy. You buy it right away. But there's so much hype that has been generated around Pistolwhip, masterful like marketing and everything. I mean, they've just done a fantastic job in terms of the unveil of Pistolwhip, bringing demos to Oculus Connect 6, having all kinds of people try it at Oculus Connect 6, and building this buzz ever since then. This is the way that you want to do your marketing campaigns, ladies and gentlemen. A great way to do it. And so they're charging 25 bucks, and I understand basically what you're doing here is you're paying a $5 hype tax. Yes, it is a $5 hype tax. That's what we're talking about here. So it's a $5 hype tax. You know, there is so much effing hype. Ooh, look at that screenshot. Maybe I should have tried to use this as my background, brah. Problem is you wouldn't have been able to see the VR365 logo, but I'm liking that. But yeah, it's a $5 hype tax is what they're basically doing here, and they can get away with it. $29.99 would have been overly aggressive, would have pissed a lot of people off, and I think they can get away with the $25 price because here's the thing. It's hard to start your price off low and then raise it. We've seen it happen a couple of times. It happened with In Death, and it's happening with another game that I'm about to talk about in just a second here. But it's not an easy thing to do, and a lot of people are very abrasive about that. They're like, holy crap, you're literally raising the price? Like, when do we ever raise the price? And so it's very hard to raise the price. So coming in at 25, it gives them some wiggle room. They got the hype factor. People are going to buy it. People are talking about it. It's available on every platform but PlayStation VR. It's going to be huge on the Oculus Quest, and it's generating so much buzz that I think they're going to be able to survive just fine at this $25 price point, and then they can always drop it down to $19.99 and get another wave of people buying it. And so it's probably a good idea every which way that you can call it. Now, the question is, have I played this game? No, I have not played this game, but there is good news. I did get a key for this game. Thank you very much, Cloudhead Games. I am going to be trying this game actually probably when I'm done with this episode. I have a Steam key for it, so I will be trying it in the Valve Index. And the thing that I've heard about playing Pistolwhip in the Valve Index with the sound, the really good audio that the Valve Index brings to the table, and then the visuals clean and crisp. Now, of course, most people will say, well, bro, it's all about the Oculus Quest. Like, if you're going to play this game, you probably want it on the Oculus Quest. It's debatable. I mean, we're going to have to wait and see. You're going to take a little bit of a graphical downgrade on the Quest. It might be a little bit stuttery in some spots, possibly on the Quest. You are going to have the freedom, and moving around in a Valve Index, ducking and squatting and dodging left and right. It's going to be interesting. I will be trying it. I plan on playing this for the next couple of days, and I will be talking about this certainly on my Sunday episode at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. And I'm probably going to end up buying the Oculus Quest version of the game as well. I will probably just end up buying that to be able to try it on the Quest as well. But right now, I'll try it on the Valve Index, and I'm excited to check it out. Reviews are very positive. Let's go ahead and take a quick little look at some of the reviews here. Recommended, despite the massive price. Okay, that's kind of funny. Despite I don't like $25 massive. This is where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we're at. Okay, this guy, we've got a negative review from ADHD Gamers. Too long, didn't read. If you're looking for a shooter game, buy Pavlov, Zero Caliber, Contractors VR. If you're looking for a rhythm game, buy Beat Saber. So basically saying, bro, this game doesn't work in either category. The graphics aren't impressive. Poly count is quite low. The enemies can shoot you before they appear and can shoot through walls. You cannot shoot the bullet coming toward. So this guy's very negative right here. Okay, iAssassin with a review says, First up, this is a rhythm game. Understand that. Second, the price. Dearer than I anticipated? What does that mean? A little bit shocking on the price, maybe, for some people. Okay, so we have somebody coming in. QTPop.com says he played it at OC6. It's just as amazing now as it was then. Think of this like a gallery shooter on rails that is set to a soundtrack you can interact with or ignore depending on how you feel. This guy says, I feel like John Wick, which is kind of what everybody's talking about here. This guy received it for free. Pistolwhip puts you in the shoes of Neo or John Wick. I mean, we know what this game is, right? We know who they are, the Denny Green thing. We know who they were, or whatever it was, right? We know what Pistolwhip is all about. Like, if you're coming to this thinking you're getting, like, the next great Pavlov, you're mistaken. And if you're coming to this thinking that this is going to kill Beat Saber and Audica and all that, you're also mistaken. This is a genre redefining, man. It's a complete redefining of the genre. No, it's a mismatch of two different genres. It's your peanut butter and your chocolate. Beat Saber and Super Hot had a baby. This is the baby. We've actually heard, of course, this was in the news very recently. Oh, was there an announcement today? I forgot about that. Wasn't there supposed to be like a big Beat Saber announcement today? I don't even know what that announcement is, but we're going to check Upload VR. We'll check the latest news sites here in a second. Rendered Reality says it looks really good on the Index and sounds awesome. I bet it does. And I'm very much looking forward to that aspect of playing the Index version. Chris Richardson is playing it right now. I'm having fun. I keep dying in the same spot. Clearly a mental block. And Recycled says, whoa, got a notification for a John Wick upload when you said John Wick. Crazy. Gamertag VR prefers it to Audica. The horror. No. Dan Hardstaff, gotta love that name. Dan Hardstaff didn't find being tethered a problem at all with this game. Okay, well, if you're not turning around, because it is front facing, right? You're basically on a moving track. It's very similar to Dimension Hunter in a way, because Dimension Hunter, you're kind of on a moving track. It's got a hitting soundtrack. You're shooting. It's just the difference between this and Dimension Hunter is you can shoot enemies to the beat in Dimension Hunter, but it doesn't do anything. And this one does do a lot. But it's amazing that Dimension Hunter is 99 cents and got literally no pub whatsoever. This is 25 and has major pub coming out of its ears. But let's go back to the front page of VR games on Steam, because there's other stuff going on. I wanted to point this out. Audica, ladies and gentlebots. So Audica is out of early access, I suppose. And I hate this. I hate this with a passion. You know, when they change the release dates. Valve, Gaben, if you're out there, don't do this. No, we need to have a legitimate release date. Stop changing release dates. Okay, we got a new person playing in jeans. I haven't seen this trailer. I haven't really been paying attention to a lot of the trailers. But yeah, so Audica is out of early access and the price has jumped a little bit, right? To $29.99. Or what was the price before? Was this $19.99 for a long time? God, those of you that didn't buy Audica when you had an opportunity, you blew it. You blew it, because it is a little bit more money now. But look at the reviews. Very positive on recent, very positive on all reviews. Harmonix Music Systems doing big things. I'm a huge fan of Audica. Haven't played it since September, though. Have not played Audica since September. It's a crying shame. Okay, what else has been going on in Steam VR world or in PC VR world? Just looking at releases here, Abode. Abode 2 is available by Overflow. And this is, look, all VR game developers out there, do you want a little bit of free consultation? Just freaking hit me up on Skype. I will consult you on when to release your game. You don't release it on the same day as freaking Pistolwhip, I don't think. And everybody that's releasing all these games on November 12th, like, there's not enough room for everybody. We need to figure this thing out. You know, it's kind of like the movie studios in the summer. They'll call each other up. Like the straight up CEOs, I mean, they will call each other up and say, bro, we want to put Star Wars out on this day, but you're putting blah, 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 you know, Aquaman or whatever. Like, let's work it out. You put Aquaman on this weekend and we'll put Star Wars on that week. You got to figure this out. And the same thing with VR games. I just think it's a bad idea to have your game go head to head with Pistolwhip. Now, I know the argument is going to be from developers out there is, look, this is fourth quarter. People are buying, although, you know, it's kind of weird. That's weird as well, right? Isn't it weird that so many games are dropping in the month of November? I mean, it is straight up Christmas right now. It is, especially for those of us that are like YouTubers that get some games that aren't even available yet and we're playing them right now. It is straight up Christmas. But it's weird to me because you're not going to Best Buy and buying somebody a copy of Abode. You know, I mean, back in the old days, you know, back in the console days of like going to Best Buy and Target and Walmart and Toys R Us and Costco and stuff, everybody would always get their games. They would want to have their big game available before Black Friday. Now, why would they want their big game available before Black Friday? They wanted it available before Black Friday because grandmas and moms just happen to be in Best Buy or Toys R Us or whatever, and they don't know what the hell they're doing, but they know their kid wants the latest game, and so they wander over to the gaming section, and they might see a brand new game, or they might ask the clerk, you know, what is the latest new game? And they'll be like, well, this game just came out today. It's pretty hot. That's why people did this. That's why, but Steam, you're not going to Best Buy and buying Abode 2. You know, so I don't really get the idea. I don't know why so many companies are scrambling to get their games out in November if it's like a Steam game or an Oculus game. Now, I would understand wanting to have your game out before Christmas. having your game out before Christmas does make sense, because I do believe that people are going to go to little grocery stores and stuff, and they're going to buy gift cards. They're going to buy Amazon cards and Steam cards and Xbox cards and PlayStation cards. You know, I mean, that's what Christmas is all about, right? How many people go to Christmas and it's like, remember the old days of Christmas? You would go to someone's house for Christmas, and in the corner they would have a whole bunch of presents that would be stacked up. And you'd be like, wow, look at all the presents. And the kids would be like drooling on the presents. Now you go to somebody's Christmas celebration now, and there's like a table, and there's like a bunch of envelopes on the table. It's all freaking gift cards. We're so effing lazy. Americans are so effing lazy. Are you guys just as lazy as us? Those of you that are in Europe and in other places around the world. Is it just a gift card exchange? Because that's kind of what it is. My Christmas is a friggin' gift card exchange. We might as well just throw all the gift cards up in the air and just grab a gift card. It's really kind of lame. It's really kind of sad. But I'm wondering, why are all these people scrambling to get their game out for what? You're not going to Toys R Us and buying Into the Radius. You know, you're not going to buy that brand new copy of Into the Radius to put it under the Christmas tree. I don't get it. But there seems to be a rush to get your game out in November for whatever reason. But yeah, speaking of Into the Radius, wow, look at that price. You want to talk about a surprise? I am legitimately surprised, ladies and gentlemen. Legitimately surprised. Into the Radius, $29.99 banger. Now, here's a surprise. Okay, it'd be one thing if Pistolwhip came in. Again, if you guys want me as your consultant, if you're a developer, you're going to launch a game and you want to know when to bring it out and for what price, dude, give me a call. Hit me up on Twitter. Slide into my DMs. Do what you got to do. I'll give you a free consultation. You know, the first hit is free. And then next year, I'll charge you some money for it, but I'll give you free consultation. Don't hit $29.99 Into the Radius. What are you thinking? No, I played this game in beta, and nah. This is not a $29.99 game. You can see reviews are mixed. Not a ton of reviews. This came out on November 6th. So, I mean, that was smart. Jumped Pistolwhip by 1 day. Pretty good, definitely jumped Pistolwhip by 1 day. So, Into the Radius is out. Galactic Rangers VR. Paolo Triani. Yeah, I don't speak Italiano. I buy so much Gucci, I should speak Italian, but I don't. No, I don't buy Gucci. That's another Kanye West line. Okay, so Paolo Triani. He has tried Galactic Rangers. This came out on November 5th. And those of you crying bloody murder for the price of Pistolwhip, it's the same price. This is the same price as Pistolwhip. It does have a 25% launch discount, so you can get this for a little bit less. It does have a promotion, $18.74. But you know, some people have said that this shits all over Space Pirate Trainer, which I find hard to believe. It shits all over Space Pirate Trainer. Now, I don't think it's the same game as Space Pirate Trainer. Okay, yeah, you have blasters. It looks a little bit more like, what was that other game? There was a game that was like a $2 game that was kind of like the poor man's version of Space Pirate Trainer. Like A10 VR or something like that. I forget what it was called. But it looks a little bit more like that. I don't think this really looks like Space Pirate Trainer, but I get it. It's similar in certain ways. Galactic Rangers is out there. It is available. That came out on November 5th. Jumped super hot by a couple of days. And so that's out there. So, I mean, games are starting to come out, and they're going to start to come even more hot and even more heavy. One other thing I wanted to mention, too, is I did get a key for this. Dement by Parasitic Entertainment. Haven't played it yet. I promise I will play this prior to Sunday, and I will give you my thoughts. This is kind of, it looks like Silent Hill. You know, I'm looking at this logo. That logo looks like, hey, let's invoke Silent Hill. And I think they did a damn good job of it. Now, you want to talk about price? A little batshit insane here with this 40 bone price. But I will be checking this out. I'll talk about it on the Sunday episode. I'm also going to be talking about Pistolwhip on the Sunday episode and other stuff as well. Might also have a very interesting interview on Sunday as well. We'll see what happens there, but might have a very interesting interview on Sunday. Okay, so that's basically what's going on right now over on Steam. A lot of games are coming out. We are in the release season. It is getting hot. It is getting heavy. So let's go ahead and bounce back to our standard scene here. I'm going to go ahead and switch trailers up, and then I want to check out chat and see what everybody's talking about in chat. And then after that, we can go ahead and bounce over to Upload VR and check out the latest news. Okay, so let me go ahead and grab chat here. Apologies for any barking dogs that you guys might be hearing with my door open. That is the danger of having an open door. But yeah, look at that. Nighttime, folks. Daylight savings time happened before your very eyes. It is now dark. It is now dark, and I like it when it gets dark right at 5 o'clock. I like that. You know why? Because it lets you know, dude, it's nighttime, man. It's five. I mean, you immediately know it's 5 o'clock. Like when it's straight up dark, oh, it's 5 o'clock. And then you know, I'm starting to get hungry, and it's time to go get dinner. Where in the summer, it's like dark at like 9:30 and you don't know what the hell's going on. And then all of a sudden, bam, it's 9:30 and it's like your night is completely over with, but you didn't realize it. You were just screwing around, playing basketball in the park, and all of a sudden, bam, it's 9:30. I kind of like the darkness. Okay, so anyways, let's go ahead and check out chat and see what some peeps are talking about. Alrighty, so I'm going to scroll back a little bit and see what folks are talking about. Okay. Gamertag VR is blowing up hot and heavy. Basically, let's just call chat Gamertag VR because he is balling out of control in chat. He says that he can't get the songs out of his head talking about Pistolwhip, and he currently likes synth riders more than Beat Saber. Dude, there's so many freaking rhythm. I can't keep track of them. I really can't. Wasn't there a game called Audio Trip? That shit got forgotten. That was like, bam, it was here and gone in a New York minute. Like, what happened to that game Audio Trip? It got forgotten quick as hell, and now everybody's on synth riders. I really haven't tried any of these music games. I play Beat Saber and Audica. That's pretty much it. Girillo's talking about a music pack. And okay, let's see. Hussein X says, yes, Audica did increase the price recently. I was looking to buy it before they did. As they told Redditors about the increase beforehand, wasn't able to pull the trigger, needed a little push. I mean, I think, and Gamertag VR says, hey, they increased the price for price parity with PlayStation VR. Maybe. I mean, see, PlayStation VR, a lot of games do come in at a higher price on PlayStation VR, and a lot of that has to do with you have to pay an extra licensing fee to Sony, I believe, on top of like the 30% that you get, the 30% of just being in the store, the PlayStation digital store. I think you're also paying like $10 for every game that you sell. Like it's a straight up, like I don't think you're, like if you put your game on Steam, yes, Valve is going to take 30%, but you don't also pay $10 to Steam to just have your game there, where I think you do it on PlayStation, or at least that's how they used to do it back in the good old days, and they might still do it. So that's why I think a lot of times when we see games come to PlayStation VR, sometimes that price gets hiked up a little bit, and it's not so much that they're trying to screw everybody over, it's that it costs more money. Also, just to go through cert, like it costs you thousands of dollars just to have your game run through certification. And I believe if your game fails certification, you might have to pay that money again. I don't know that it gets refunded or anything like that. But yeah, sometimes games on PSVR are a little bit more expensive. Okay. Shiny Robot says, yeah, at Gamertag VR, yep, they're bangers. I'll be swinging about it in my sleep. I think I'm not sure if we're talking about Synth Riders as having bangers, Audica having bangers, or Pistolwhip, but bangers all around. Okay, the one Neo says they blew it. 15. It should have been $15. Are you talking about Pistolwhip should have been 15? Not necessarily, because you know what? Again, you can always come down later. So I don't know. You don't start off like that. All right. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and move down chat. Yeah, VR Spy Guy says, wow, it got dark fast. I can't see Anthony's backyard anymore. You sure can't. Yeah, it gets dark real quick. He's not about to get swatted, is he? Oh, shit. Could you imagine if all of a sudden fools just burst through my door there? That would be kind of bull crap, wouldn't it? All right. Let's see. Gaming Science Teacher said, we did away with gifts at our family Christmas and focusing more on just being together, having good food, and playing Scrabble. Aw, that's so nice. Well, actually, you know what a lot of families have done? See, way back in like the 70s and 80s, it was a trip, dude. Back in the 70s and 80s, like this is the way my family did it. In the 70s and 80s, you would buy gifts for everybody. You'd buy gifts for your Uncle John and your Aunt Cynthia, and like your fucking cousin and this person and that. You'd be buying like 30 freaking gifts. And then so what everybody gets is crap, like cheapo crap, because you'd had to buy a gift for tons of people and you just didn't have the money for it. So everybody just got crap, right? And so what a lot of families would do is they would do a name exchange, So you would get one name. This would be for the adults. Like, this is what a lot of people do. You get one name, and the adults, like, I would get one name. Like, I would get my Uncle Bob, and so I got to buy a gift for Bob. And then some other adult would have to buy a gift for me. And then you do like a little exchange like that. And then for the kids, everybody buys gifts for the kids. So the kids get gifts from everybody, but the adults would just buy for one adult. A lot of people do it that way. But yeah, it is what it is. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and scroll down here and look a little bit more in chat. And yeah, gifts are for kids. That's main fan. Okay, and I'm scrolling all the way down now. All right, Shiny Robot says, rhythm is the new puzzler, is the new wave shooter. And ADHD gamers, audio trip is trash. Well, a few people were talking about audio trash for a quick minute, and I wonder if that was just really good marketing. If they had a couple of YouTubers like kind of hyping them up, and it was kind of like marketing from that standpoint, because I heard a lot about audio trip for a very quick minute. Gaming Science Teacher watched Black Mirror for the first time this week. Watched Striking Vipers and Playtest. Effing freaky. Dude, Black Mirror, you've got so many episodes to watch to go back into the archives. Just miss a couple of episodes. Hey, Anthony, I think read out loud your Steam review of it just a bit earlier in the show. What? I didn't leave no review. So somebody's faking it if there's a review that's saying it's me. It's not me, bro. I did not do... Yeah, Secret Santa. Yeah, we all do that as well. Okay, so anyway, that's chat. Let's go ahead and get into some news. And news is news to me as well, because I really don't know about the news. I am late to the party. We're talking Shiz Show 97. So let's go ahead and bounce over to the webinar. Here we are. This is Upload VR. And let's see what stories we got going. Pistolwhip review. Actually, wait, let's check out their review real quick just to see where did they put their negatives at and their positives. We'll scroll down for the numbers. So they gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Fan-effing-tastic. The good, gorgeous, glowing, dreamlike levels. Addictive and satisfying difficulty curve, which is really key, by the way. Built-in modifiers add significant death. Significant death. Yeah, the modifiers add tremendous death. Okay, easy to get into quickly. Okay, now here's the bad bro. Only 10 scenes at launch, and the music needs more variety. Okay. The real question I have too is kind of on the Quest side of things. So what does it say here about the Quest? The wireless freedom of Quest can make it easier to move with the kind of speed and confidence required. Jump into the air to dodge a bullet and then bring your gun down on a bad guy's head in a single movement. On Index, it's a gorgeous trip with a smoothness to everything and a depth to the sound that's missed in the Oculus Quest. Unless you got some banging synthesizers though. As noted above, there are separate leaderboards for Oculus and Steam buyers. So they really didn't address like visuals. I was wondering if the visuals got like a major freaking downgrade because like the Quest version, I don't think, like I know there was some video footage of the Quest version that came out and some people were like, ooh, no, it doesn't look too good, man. I don't know what's up with that, bro. Okay, so there is a little bit of PlayStation news. So I did see this. Now, this was back in February, so this is a long time ago when Jim Ryan became CEO of PlayStation, but there has been some musical chairs that has been going on over there at PlayStation, and basically, let's see, there wasn't a lot of talk about VR in this whole thing here, but basically Ryan, the CEO, affirmed the company remained committed to VR. Also, there are some special deals. There are some Black Friday deals that are happening. In fact, actually some pretty good ones. Some actually pretty good deals are happening, and we're going to get to that in just a second. Wolves in the Walls. This is available today. Did you guys know that this is out right now? Chapter 3 of Wolves in the Walls. And I felt like Chapter 2 was really good. I like experiences, guys. I really do. And I think experiences are tremendously underrated. I think we do need to find out a way for these people to get paid. This is free. And so all 3 episodes of Wolves in the Walls are now available, I believe, on Oculus. It's all free. You can check it out. The entirety of Wolves in the Walls is available for free for Oculus Rift on Oculus Home as of 10 a.m. today. So, yeah, I mean, they won an Emmy for this. I just thought they did a really good job because what they did with Wolves in the Walls, this was Chapter 2. I haven't tried the new one, but they used darkness in a clever way because what they would do is they would basically cause you to turn around and follow a character because it was dark everywhere and you would see a character moving, and it's just human nature. When it's dark, you want to look at something. You just don't want to look at blackness. And they took advantage of that. And so you followed the character around and you know, they did some pretty good things with that. I thought they did a great job with Wolves in the Walls. And I definitely want to check this out right after this show as well. So yeah, I mean, there's really too much stuff that's going on. It's almost crazy. We get so much stuff. It comes in waves and we just get dumped on, and it makes it a little bit difficult. Okay, so we did see that. There was another big news. Oh yeah, this was the other big news story that I thought was kind of interesting right here. So Echo Arena for the Oculus Quest has been pushed back to 2020. And I say good job here. I think this is a good idea. I think this is a good job. So here is the quote that we got from either Oculus or maybe Ready at Dawn. Let's see what it says. To release the highest quality game possible, we've decided to delay Echo Arena's launch on Quest until 2020, the company said in a blog post. We're excited to bring Echo Arena and all of its zero-G glory to Quest soon. So yeah, this is a good idea because I'll tell you what, I played this at Oculus Connect 6, and this was just late September. It wasn't that long ago that I was at Oculus Connect 6. And I gotta tell you, after playing this, I was like, if somebody interviewed me right after I played this and they said, when do you think Echo Arena is gonna be out on Quest? I'd be like, summer next year, like a year from now practically, because it looked a bit on the rough side. Like, this is definitely, if you are a graphics whore, just stay away, period. This is basically another Robo Recall is what we're talking about. And you know, remember I was like crazy harsh on Robo Recall for the Quest when I first played it. And I was like, oh my God, this is not your father's Robo Recall. And I was like, wow, talk about watered down. I mean, this is a drenching of water, with Robo Recall and all of that. Well, I revisited Robo Recall not too long ago. I was playing it again on my Quest a lot more, like trying to kind of almost play through the whole thing, really. And after a while, I just forgot about the graphics. And the core gameplay was pretty much there. And so I believe I was a little bit too harsh. Like Drifter Entertainment, Drifter, they did a damn good job. Even though the graphics were crazily watered down, they did a damn good job. And so just because graphics get watered down doesn't mean like you completely shite on a game and don't consider it and all of that. So Echo Arena can still be a great game. The graphics are going to continue to be watered down. They're not going to improve. In fact, if anything, they might even be reduced a little bit more to make the gameplay that much more smoother and stuff. But for the most part, when I was playing Echo Arena at OC6 on the Quest, it felt kind of like Echo Arena, but there was a lot of weird little glitchy. I mean, they are pushing that hardware to hell and back. They really are. Where's the cloud when you need them? Like Microsoft used to talk about Crackdown. Like the cloud is going to help Crackdown. And so when you play Crackdown on your Xbox One, you're going to have the infinite power of the cloud help. That's kind of what Echo Arena needs. It needs a 5G modem to get snuck into the Oculus Quest so that the cloud can help out Echo Arena somehow. Because, they were trying to do miracles with that game on a Snapdragon 835. But I'm sure they'll be able to work on it a bit more and they'll get it buttoned up. And so we'll be looking forward to that in early 2020 for the Oculus Quest. All right, why don't we go ahead and bounce over to Road to VR. Let's see what kind of stories they got going on over there. Because I know one of their stories here. Okay, so Beat Saber, just another freaking music pack? Nah, brah. I thought it was going to be the 360 version, brah. But just another music pack. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out this Black Friday deal for PlayStation VR. And this is a hell of a deal. Like, this is a great deal. If you own a PlayStation 4 and you've never jumped on the PlayStation VR bandwagon, this is a pretty freaking banging deal. I mean, because you get 5 primetime games, 5 of PlayStation VR's all-time best games, the Mega Pack. And this ain't just Europe, though. Isn't this like at Target and stuff? Like, this is here in the USA. So PSVR bundle plus 5 games for $200 at Target. Oh, this is the Black Friday doorbuster deal. Okay, well, that's another story, though. Because these doorbuster things, like, have you ever done Black Friday, guys? I don't recommend it. It's not worth it. It's only worth it if you're trying to get like a 70-inch LCD TV and you're willing to camp like 4 days in advance at freaking Fry's or something, or Best Buy or whatever, because you gotta get the 70-inch LCD and save like $600. But then you start thinking, dude, what is my time worth? And living in a tent for a couple of days. But dude, the Black Friday, like the doorbusters, like you got to be there like the night before. Like the only people that are going to get this deal are the people that camp out the night before. And it ain't that good. It ain't that good of a deal. It is a good deal though. It is a great deal. PlayStation VR World's crazy underrated. Skyrim VR, we know about that. Astrobot, one of the all-time best. Resident Evil, one of the all-time best in VR. And everybody's golf. And so 4 of them are PlayStation VR exclusives. Might have even been a smarter idea. Might have been a smarter idea to get Skyrim out of there and throw in like Blood and Truth. Imagine if they had 5 PSVR exclusives. There might even be some PC VR snobs that happen to have a PlayStation 4 in another room in their house, and it might tempt them, getting 5 PlayStation VR exclusives, but there's 4 exclusives and Skyrim, $200. Now you don't get the Move controllers. You do get the new version of the headset. I mean, the slightly revised version. You do get a camera, and you do get the 5 games. And I'm not sure if the games are like physical or they're just little codes or what it is. But yeah, and there's also an ad that is advertising 100 off all the PlayStation VR bundles that are out there. So there's probably some other really good deals there. So yeah, it's a great time to jump in. You know, it's Black Friday. Can you believe it? Can you believe that the year went by so effing fast that we're almost to Black Friday? It seems so weird to me, man. Like when people start talking about Black Friday, it's like, Black Friday? Isn't that like hella months away? No, Black Friday is freaking right upon us. All right, let's check out their Pistolwhip review, just see what they got going on here. 4 out of 5 stars, shooting for the flow state. Which, yeah, you know, that's basically what they're going for here. Price $25. They reviewed it on the Index and the Quest. Let's see. I'm more curious about the Quest, just in terms of like how much the graphics got watered down a little bit. I mean, the graphical style, like you look at the game and you say, this is a Questicle. Like the visuals were made this way for the Quest. Like that's what I would have thought, you know, just looking at the visuals of it. But then, you know, I heard the graphics got a little bit watered down here. Pistolwhip on Quest. Okay, let's see what they're saying here. In our testing of Pistolwhip on Quest, we found no significant differences in gameplay compared to the PC version. The song selection, customization options, and settings are the same, and the game runs smoothly. Quest's built-in audio also handles the songs well enough that it doesn't feel essential to use external headphones, though if you really want to get it proper, you got to do it. You got to get them headphones going. You know, that might be part of the pricing thing. Okay, so they gave it an 8 overall, but I was just thinking, the Quest. Think about the Quest, guys. I was in a PlayStation, or no, wait, where was I? I was on the Quest subreddit. And there were some people complaining about, where's the sales? Where are the sales for the Quest games? You know, people were complaining about this, and other people, and there is a straight up Quest defense force. There is a major Quest defense force that rallies like a mofo. You can't say anything bad about the Quest. They will rally around that flag like you would not believe. That Quest Defense Force is out so effing quick, and they will justify anything that Oculus does. It's amazing to behold. It really is. But basically, people are saying, dude, where's the sales? And they're saying it's not just a year one thing, because Oculus in 2016, they had sales on the Rift. In the very first year of the Rift, there were sales. The first year that the HTC Vive games were available, there were sales. You know, so there isn't this like thing that says, no, you're not allowed to have sales in the first year of availability. That's kind of bullshit. And people brought that up. But other people were saying, yeah, but you know what? This is a situation where the demand is way greater than supply. And when demand is way greater than supply, you don't need to do the sales. And then the other thing about sales is, think of all the brand new people. Think of all the brand new people that are going to get Quests under their Christmas tree. And then they're going to want to immediately go buy games. And so if they were having like a big Christmas sale right at that time, then they're going to be buying all these discounted games. But Facebook wants that money, baby. They want that money. Dude, they are really hammering it with the TV ads. You know, if you watch NFL football, it's freaking all Quest ads all the time. Like Oculus is legitimately spending major bank on Quest advertisements, which is a beautiful thing. It's a great thing. We need this, right? And so maybe the $25 price for Pistolwhip, it might have more to do with Quest than anything else, because the Quest owners are so effing desperate. They buy everything that they see. That, you know, they're like, they're willing to take anything and everything, man. And they're like, yeah, give me more, give me more, give me more. They don't, you know, they're not as discerning right now over there in Quest land. They want everything. They buy it immediately. And so it is cross-buy. So they want that $25 price, to work them Quest folks. Like, that's what it's all about, man. That's where that $25 price. I think that really does have a lot to do with it. All right, so what we can do now, folks, is why don't we, speaking of all these prices and everything, why don't we see if there is a sale that is happening on the Oculus Rift store, which is something, see, back in the good old days when VR 365 was every day, Wolves in the Walls, free, folks, free. Frisney, free double EE. It's free. Go get it. Go get it at a store near you. Okay, so the daily deal, Trover. You don't often see Trover on sale. Now, it's a whopping discount, a whole 10%. Don't spend that $3 all in one place, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, don't blow your money all in one place from the money that you're saving by buying Trover. But it is a deal. We've got about 6 more hours left. You do get the free DLC, 10% off. I'm a fan. Still have not completed this game all the way. Got to get back into it. Great game. It's a cool game. It's a great palate cleanser. It's nice to have a game where you can get back into your seat and be a lazy bastard. I'm starting to actually, it's weird. I was the stand-up guy. I was Mr. Immersion, immersion, man, immersion. You're not going to be immersed if you're sitting down. That's what I would always say, like immersion, 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 kind of like beat that drum, beat that dead horse. And now I'm starting to kind of like the idea of sitting my ass down every once in a while, every once in a blue moon. And so I whip out Scraper because it's a great sit-down game. But Trover Saves the Universe, also a very wonderful sit-down game. And you need a few sit-down games, especially after playing a lot of Pistolwhip. Dude, Pistolwhip, you're going to get some work on them legs. Your legs are going to get work on Pistolwhip. I like that new logo for Audica. That is badass, y'all. Oh, wait, we're not even on, let's switch back over here. Sorry. See that logo for Audica? Badass. That is cool, huh? Was I in the wrong window the whole time? Here we are. We're on the Rift store, ladies and gentlemen. Trover Saves the Universe is $27. It is 10% off. Normal price is $30. You got a little over 6 hours. Apologies if I was in the wrong window the whole time. And yeah, Wolves in the Walls is free. My bad on that one. Stormland. A lot of people are playing Stormland. I'm not playing Stormland, guys. I don't have any Stormland code. What I said on my Discord server, I'm not in the Cool Kids Club. I don't know what it requires to get into the Cool Kids Club, but whatever it requires, I don't got, because I'm not in the Cool Kids Club. So I've got to wait for my OC6 code for Stormland, which I'm never getting any emails. Like, they don't believe I went to OC6. So I'm going to have to bug an Oculus employee again, unfortunately, as we get closer to November 14th. So I don't have a take on Stormland, unfortunately. I don't know if you're allowed to have a take on it anyways. It might be embargoed. But yeah, there are a lot of people that are playing Stormland. You can pre-order it. 40 buccarinis coming on November 14th. That's why these other games that are timing their releases, it's like, oh my God, you guys are walking into a freaking hellstorm with all these games that are coming out. Why don't we go ahead and check out new releases on on the Quest store? We'll just see what the new releases happen to be over here. So you can see Pistolwhip, 25 buccarinis. It is in the mix. There's always a lot of weird things. Have you noticed that? Like a lot of weird indie stuff with very indie logos. Here's another thing. Like, I was just telling developers, if you want some free advice on how to price your game and when to release it, I'll also give you free advice on your effing logo. Free advice on your effing logo. You got to be able to do better than this, dude. This Krava, whatever this Krava is, I can do better than that. I can do better than that, and that's a goddamn shame. If I can do better than your logo, you know you're not doing a good job, okay? Rhythm Knights, not bad. Not bad. I kind of like that logo. Undead Reality Demo, you can do better than that, can't you? You can do better than that. I did hear ZimTalk5 talking about Particulate, which is available for $10 on the Oculus Store. Looks kind of cool. There, it's weird because, and look at the ratings. The ratings are very good, although it's probably 15 of the devs' best homies have all chipped in and given it the old 5-star rating, right? But there's probably some cool stuff that is on the Oculus Store that I don't really pay too much attention to because I don't really, that does look pretty trippy. This does look pretty trippy. I think Joe Rogan would like to play this after a DMT trip. He'd probably like that, Definitely send him off into an alien world. But yeah, every once in a while there is some weird stuff that comes onto the Oculus Store. But yeah, some of these logos could definitely use some work. But some of them are decent. Some of them are pretty proper. Brood, gotta love that one. Okay, so anyway, that is the Rift. Let's check out the Quest just to see new releases on the Quest, see what's going on with that. So let's go ahead and, Fisherman's Tale is coming soon. Audica, by the way, Audica is still coming to the Quest, right? But we don't know exactly when. We know that it's fourth quarter. Last Labyrinth, I believe is coming on the 12th to basically every platform known to man that is VR related. So Last Labyrinth is coming very soon as well. But let's check new releases. So you can see Pistolwhip, $25. Synth Riders, 17 bones. Gadgeteer, people are really loving that. And Thrill of the Fight is just, dude, Ian Fitz must be driving a really nice Lambo right about now. Dude is driving a nice Lambo, I'd have to say. He is chilling very nicely. All right, let's go ahead and head back over to chat and let's see what fools are talking about. And I'll change this trailer real quick to something different. So let me grab a different trailer. How about Dick Wild 2 announcement trailer? Yeah, buddy. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and check chat real quick, see what people have been yapping about as I was yapping. Oh, Recycled says, at VR365, ask for codes respectively. I understand it's required. Dude, I've given up. Asking Oculus for codes. Okay, number one, I've asked for, I've sent so many emails to a particular Oculus person that have never been returned. I kind of feel like maybe I am on some kind of shit list with Oculus because otherwise I don't know what's going on. But I basically have I don't do it anymore. I mean, you can only send so many emails to somebody. They never return your emails. I mean, you can't do it. You got to stop at a certain point, right? But yeah, no, you definitely try to ask for codes, but it is a thing. All right, so I'm going to scroll back a little bit and we'll see what some folks are talking about in Chisels. And ADHD Gamer says Black Friday for digital PC games is great though. Oh, absolutely. Black Friday from your computer. Although a lot of the Amazon stuff, when they do little Black Friday things or when they do Cyber Monday and all of that, some of that stuff, man, unless you're sitting at your computer constantly refreshing and even then, when they have the gold box deals and all of that, I don't do that stuff. I'm F that. I'm not doing that. I'm not playing your games. But if you have a quick little flash sale that I can jump on and grab, that's great. That's absolutely great. Okay, Gaming Science Teacher says, it really ticks me off when stores are open on Thanksgiving Day. I had to work a Thanksgiving at Best Buy once. Never again. Ah, you wore the blue shirts with the little yellow logos. That's awesome. Gaming Science Teacher was a Best Buy employee. I worked at a place that was similar to Best Buy back in the late 90s. It was called Good Guys. It was a West Coast chain, The Good Guys. We called it Goodfellas internally. But it basically was like a Best Buy or a Circuit City, but a little bit higher end, a little bit more expensive. And I did the retail thing, man. I did the retail thing. And I did it during freaking Thanksgiving and all of that. And it's freaking crazy. People that work in retail, I feel your pain. I truly do. And you know what I finally checked out recently? Speaking of Joe Rogan, I mentioned Joe Rogan a little bit earlier. Andrew Yang, right? You know, the presidential candidate, Andrew Yang. I never heard his interview with Joe Rogan. And so I'm at work. It's boring as F. I am checking out the F Reality podcast. By the way, if you guys have not heard the most recent F Reality podcast, definitely check it out, because they had Kent Bai on there from Voices of VR podcast, and some very interesting discussions, especially very late into the episode. Some very interesting discussions, I thought, eye-opening discussions, thinking about things from different angles that maybe you haven't considered, and pretty good, you know. So definitely check out that F Reality podcast. Also, make sure to check out Virtual Strangers. Dude, Virtual Strangers is a bomb-ass show. Like, you guys aren't checking out Virtual Strangers? They should have way more subs than they do. Wes and Roots do such a really good job of providing a lot of information. They've improved by leaps and bounds. They have improved by leaps and bounds. If you caught one of the earliest episodes of Virtual Strangers and you thought, you know, these guys are just learning how to do this. Well, they've learned. They've learned how to do this now. They're much better. They were good in the beginning, I thought. I mean, I thought they were entertaining from the very beginning, but definitely much more polished. Be sure to check out Virtual Strangers. If you always check out F Reality, but you never check out Virtual Strangers, you're making a mistake, in my opinion. But what was I talking about? I lost track. I know I was talking about, Andrew Yang. Yeah, so he was talking about like the jobs that are going to be displaced with automation and like, oh man, retail. Like he was saying 30% of all the retail malls are going to close in the next 5 to 6 years. And there's going to be, you know, this whole like universal basic income. It's like some weird ideas, man. I'm kind of glad I'm older now. I'm glad I'm older, because I would not want to be like a 20-year-old growing up in this weird-ass reality that you guys are growing up in. You guys are growing up in a weird-ass reality. I've got a 19-year-old son that is dealing with, like, he's going to have to deal with all this weirdness. And you know what Andrew Yang mentioned on that episode? He was like, be a plumber. Be a plumber. Freaking AI ain't going to take over plumbers anytime soon. Like, when are they going to have robots with really good finger capabilities that can bend down and show their plumber's crack while getting into tight spaces and you know, roto-rootering your freaking toilet? Like, that's going to take a long effing time before that is economically viable. I mean, it'll be possible to do that and not too freaking long, but will it be economically viable? No. So I know being a plumber is not a sexy job, bro, but maybe, you know, if you've got like a teenager, like I'm thinking of telling my teenager, dude, be a plumber, you'll have a job for the next 40 years. But yeah, I love Joe Rogan. Very interesting topics always on there. So I'm trying to check out our chat, and I kind of got off topic there. All right, my apologies. So going back to chat, Gaming Science Teacher was talking about working on Thanksgiving Day and saying that is absolute bull crap, and I totally understand what you're saying there. Okay, let's see. Great Tantrum says, forget Black Friday, save up for PlayStation 5. PlayStation 5 will make PSVR perform like it should. The PS4 hardware limitation will be a thing of the past. Well, you know, Great Tantrum, the whole PS5 thing, you know what I need to do? I need to have Alex from Play PSVR. Remember I had him a long time ago on this show? Pretty cool interview. Really high energy guy. Really gets into it. Need to have him back on the show because I want to talk to him about PlayStation VR. I've actually got a lot of negative Nancy kind of things to say about PlayStation VR. And, you know, I want, you know, I'll be the devil's advocate. Like, I'll come out with all the negative PlayStation VR stuff, and I kind of want to see what he wants to talk about. I should have him on for an interview. I think that would be great. But PlayStation 5, I mean, it's a whole topic. I'm not going to get into it now. I don't know. Should we save up our money for PlayStation 5? My wonder about PlayStation 5 is what can they do to make me spend all that money to buy it when I only play VR. But I know I'm kind of a weirdo, and I know a lot of you guys still play flat. But we'll get into that on another episode. We'll get into that on another episode. Gamertag VR says Quest Defense Force 2077. I'm telling you, if you go over to the Oculus Quest subreddit and start talking a little bit of smack about anything Quest, anything negative, they will show up in a New York minute and spin city, bro. Spin city. They will spin it like you never knew it could be spinned. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down and see some more notes here. Robert Dodge checking in. It's always nice to have new people jump into chat that I've never seen before. That is always cool. Robert Dodge says, how are you getting on with Asgard's Wrath? Still playing Asgard's Wrath, although I have had... Look, here's the deal, and Gamertag knows what I'm talking about. Mike from Virtual Reality Oasis, Nathy, Zimtalk, everybody knows what I'm talking about, because right now, dude, if you're like a YouTuber type, like Cass and Cherry and all of them, we've got so many games that are hitting us. Like, I've got to play Dement. I've got to Dement, like the Silent Hill kind of game in VR. I've got to play Pistolwhip. I'm playing a couple of games that are coming out on November 12th. There's so many games right now. So Asgard's Wrath, I've had to take it and set it over to the side. Unfortunately, I haven't really been playing it much, but it's such a great game. It's an amazing game. It's one of the best VR games we've ever had. So I'm loving it. Hussein X says, I watch Virtual Strangers. Really good. Rendered Reality says, they do an awesome show. They dive deep into some great games. VR Spry Guy says, I watch every Virtual Strangers episode. So maybe we need to pimp Virtual Strangers on Reddit a little bit or something, because a lot of people must not know about them, because they need way more subs in my opinion. So yeah, there is that. Gaming Science Teacher says, agree on the improvement from the earliest few episodes. Yeah, I think the guys were really shy, very early on, very shy. Like, if you go back to my earliest episodes of VR Game Rankings, YouTube, whatever I was calling that shit, daily vlog or whatever, the very few, like when I first started doing the VR Game Rankings YouTube channel, oh my God, I'm awful. I'm absolutely awful. I had no confidence whatsoever, didn't know what I was doing, was like mumbling and stuff. It was terrible. You improve, man. The more you do something, you improve. Like, look at how well I'm doing today, even with no preparation whatsoever. Because if you put 10,000 hours into anything, you become a friggin' expert. And I haven't put 10,000 hours into this, but I put a lot. So I can just wing a show on a wing and a prayer. And it happens all the time. Okay, plumbers don't wear ties. Okay, Wes, let's see, Solid Freeman. We have enough plumbers already. More plumbers equal less pay. No real solution. Okay, well, be an air conditioner repairman. Be somebody that cleans the gutters. We're starting to get into the winter, the fall season of lots of rain and storms and shit like that. Be a gutter cleaner. Dude, although you only work, you work some limited hours as a gutter cleaner. And on the side, you can put up people's Christmas lights as a bonus. Yeah, I know. If everybody goes into plumbing, we'll have a bit of a problem. Okay. Recycled says, Alex is super duper. Yeah, I got to hit him up, see if he'll come on for a PlayStation discussion about what is Sony doing right now, because I feel like I know what Sony's doing, but I think it's a kind of a bad decision. They're basically like punting this fourth quarter, and I understand why they're doing it from a PlayStation 4 standpoint, but not PSVR. Dude, PSVR is its own platform. Why are they need some big games, man. I mean, Golden keeps getting moved back. Is that their big game? I don't know. Okay, let's see. Let me go ahead and switch off of this trailer. I've been on this one, Evasion, for a quick minute here on PlayStation Underground trailer. Let's pop it on something else. Jet X. Yeah, remember Jet X? It's funny, I go back and look at all these old games that I was like hyped in for a minute, and then they kind of get lost in the shuffle like a year later or whatever. Okay, Janred says, are we talking about shitty jobs? Take care of old people. Yeah, no, robots are going to be able to take care of old people pretty soon. Like, I need a robot for my mom. See, the thing is, one of the problems that we have for my mom is like she forgets about things, and if only we had somebody to give her the right amount of pills at the right time, then the worry is that she would take her pills, like she wouldn't know, she'd take them again, she'd do all of that. Great Tantrum says Iron Man VR is the big game. Yeah, but it's not coming out until the final day of February. Where's the big game this Christmas, Great Tantrum? Riddle me this, Tantrum. Where is the big Christmas game for PlayStation VR? They had a big Christmas game last year, Borderlands 2, right? They had a big Christmas game the year before, Skyrim VR. Like if we go back, and then the first Christmas was the launch of PlayStation VR. It was brand new. They've had big games every Christmas for PlayStation VR except for this one. I guess they're going to be leaning on stuff like Audica and maybe budget cuts and maybe Gorn, but I mean, I don't know. They're leaning on everybody else. Oh yeah, Uber Wolfie with the rumor. Valve partnering with Valve. What about that, folks? What about that? Yeah, we can get into that rumor. Let me go ahead and bounce over to the webinar. Let me see if I can find... yeah, there is that rumor. I saw that rumor. What's my thought on that rumor? So let's go to Road to VR. I think Road to VR might have had that rumor somewhere on one of their stories here. Road to VR had this, which I thought, this is kind of cool. Like, this is a great idea, folks. I'm really liking this. So did you see this topic? Researchers have developed a method, although it's probably going to make all of our brains freaking corrupted, or our eyes are going to be like going the wrong way and shit. Like everybody's going to know, oh, you were one of those early VR people. I feel so sorry for you that your brain just got totally ruined by early VR because we didn't know what we were doing. And you played so many hours of VR in the early days, and now your eyeballs are going opposite directions and you're totally screwed. But you did get a lot of money from Facebook in the great lawsuit of 2027. Okay, so researchers develop method to boost contrast in VR headsets by lying to your eyes. Yeah, why don't we do this? Let's trick our brains. Let's trick our brains and basically lie to our brains. So, okay. In the latest round of VR headsets, most major headset makers have moved from OLED to LCD. LCD offers greater pixel density, a reduced screen door effect, lower cost. Now, the big downside, of course, is contrast ratio. Okay, now OLED offers a wider contrast range with especially deep blacks. Now, researchers from a number of locations have figured out a novel method, which could help boost the perceived contrast in VR headsets. The system is called DICE. It is sponsored by Andrew Dice Clay. The system is called DICE, which stands for Dioptic Contrast Enhancement. And it has a negligible computational cost and can be directly used in real-time VR rendering. The researchers say that while tone mapping methods can boost perceived contrast in images, they are too slow and computationally expensive for practical use in VR rendering. Instead, they propose a system which exploits the natural behavior of human stereo vision to fool it into perceiving greater contrast. Yeah, this is not going to have any side effects, folks. No side effects to worry about. We're just going to start tricking your brain. There will be no side effects. All I know is I played T for God on the Oculus Quest via side quests, and the next day I'm at work and I'm in my effing cubicle and I happen to look at the wall and the entire world goes just a little bit that way. It's like somebody took the entire world and tilted it just a little bit like that for a split second. Now, was it random? Was it just a random coinky-dink? I don't know, but I played T for God the night before, and I feel like it did break my brain a little bit. Yeah, we need the FCC up in the house. We need somebody running some freaking tests on this shit. Like, how are people just doing this? Like, is anybody testing any of this? Like, one question I have is for game developers out there. Like, if you're making a horror game, is there any kind of tests that we got to run this shit through? Like, what if people just freaking start like dropping dead on the spot because you make some horror game that is too freaking immersive and people just start dying? Like, we need some freaking checks and balances here, don't we? Okay, yeah. Here was the story: Apple partnering with Valve to develop an AR headset. I don't believe it. I don't believe it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. I just don't see this, because here's the thing. Valve was working on AR for a while. They were working on AR. In fact, I think even before they were working on VR, or they were working on it in tandem. And Jerry Ellsworth, Tilt 5, she was at Valve, and she led their Valve AR stuff. And they were working on AR for a long time. And they got to a certain point in the AR development where Valve was like, Gabe basically. Gabe was like, we're going to let this AR thing go. So no thanks. We're not working on AR anymore. And Jerry Ellsworth, of course, she went to Gabe and said, hey, you're not working on AR anymore. I'd like to continue to work on it. Can I take all the old AR stuff and just go off on my own? And Gaben was like, yeah, go ahead, knock yourself out, bro. And that's where Tilt 5 came from eventually. So it's hard for me to believe that Valve secretly started back up AR development after they let Jerry Ellsworth go and all of that. And then Apple came calling. I don't know. It seems kind of hard for me to buy. Now, the only thing that makes me wonder about this, and I'm going to open up a brand new tab here, and let's go Gaben Tilt 5. Let's do a search for Gaben Tilt 5 images. And Gaben, you guys might have seen this recently. He was just there talking with Jerry Ellsworth and talking about Tilt 5 and all of that. And I don't know, for some reason, when this story leaked about Apple and Valve and all of that, the only thing that made me twitchy a little bit is the fact that Gaben actually did meet with Jerry Ellsworth recently, face to face and everything. And so the thing that I was thinking, it started working in my head. I started thinking, I wonder if Gaben wanted to talk to Jerry Ellsworth face to face and break her the news that, you know what, Jerry, a little while after you left, we started working on AR again. And guess what? Tim Cook called us and, things happen. And so we've got a major AR product that we're working on. But hey, I really love Tilt 5. And, the Tilt 5 project looks really good. But I wanted to tell you face to face that, Valve is doing some little AR stuff in the background. We're working with Apple. No big deal. Just us and Apple. Just kind of a megaton that's going on. I don't know. I don't buy it. I don't see this happening. But who knows? Anything's possible. And it definitely is an interesting rumor, to be sure. All right, so going back over here, I am starting to get incredibly hungry. I got to admit it. I am starving like Marvin. And so I'm going to put on a different trailer real quick for a second here. I'm going to take a quick last look at Chisels, and I'm going to get the hell out of Dodge and get some dinner. So let me go ahead and see what some folks are talking about. All right, so Jarillo says, yes, Valve partnering with Valve. Anthony quotes 101. BloxyMan22, if you ever tried red and blue 3D glasses, you would know it is a bad idea. Okay, BloxyMan22, trick our brains to think one eye is blind. Yeah, a wonderful idea. I'm telling you, dude, I could see it. This is like a Black Mirror episode waiting to happen. That we find out 200 years from now, they'll be like, can you believe they did this VR stuff and they didn't even see what it might do to the human brain? And then hundreds of thousands of people that first got into VR were just completely ruined and their brains turned to mush and they basically became vegetables. And, their relatives got millions of dollars in the great lawsuit of 2027. But man, what happened to those VR people in the early days? Okay, Wes Osborne says side effects will be in really, 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 really small fine print. Absolutely. Recycled says LCD seems a little blown out compared to OLED. Okay. Vaping and VR will kill you before 25. Don't do it, kids. Bloxyman22, who cares about AR? Oh, we love AR. Recycled says AR to replace phones. All right. Yeah, that's the problem. Whenever I talk AR, everybody goes silent. Lord Gaben wants Steam delivered to our brains directly. See, the one connection I get with Gaben, Valve, AR is maybe Tim Cook and company thinks, you know what, we need some high-end games with this AR stuff, but we're never going to do that. And Valve needs a platform. Valve needs a platform that's going to be off the PC. Like Valve, see, here's the thing, man. Valve has a conundrum at some point in time. Facebook has the Quest standalone. Facebook is making AR goggles. We know about that, right? Both of these things are things that you can buy that are going to come in a box. And the beautiful thing for Facebook with both their AR headset and with Quest 2 and Quest 3 and Quest 4 and Quest 5 is that they are moving away from having any kind of outside control. So they're going to own the entire ecosystem, man. It's going to be a closed loop for Facebook. The Quest is a closed loop. This is why they don't have to have sales. They don't have to have sales because it's an effing closed loop. They don't got to match Steam. They don't got to match PlayStation. They don't got to match anybody. It's their own deal. And until there is another Quest competitor, a legit Quest competitor, they don't ever have to have sales if they don't want to, because they don't have to match anybody. They have no competition right now. And it's going to be the same thing with AR. And the thing about Valve is Valve eventually, they've got to get away from Windows. They got to get away from computers. I'm talking about the long game. I'm talking about the long con. The long con, right? Valve eventually is going to have to get away from PCs and all of that. So the only way I can spin this whole Valve and Apple thing is like Apple goes to Valve and says, look, we're never getting into high-end gaming. That's just not our bag. But you guys are in high-end gaming. Can we work together? We do this AR thing. We'll do all the little silly phone games and stuff, but you guys can kind of do the high-end games. And we can kind of work it out. We could have a store where, your high-end games. I don't know. It still doesn't make sense. It still doesn't make sense. So I don't buy it. I think it's all fake. I don't buy it. Fake news, fake news. All right, folks. Well, I am starving like you wouldn't believe. I got to get the hell out of here, and I got to get some grub. I'm definitely looking forward to some grub at this point in time. As you can see behind me, it is dark out there. It is nighttime, folks. And nighttime triggers something in your brain which says it's time for din-din. I really do believe that when daylight savings time happens and it starts getting dark at 5 p.m., I believe that people move up their dinner times. I believe people start eating dinner a hell of a lot earlier than normal because, there's something about it being dark outside and it says, boom, it's dark. I need to eat dinner. I've got to eat dinner. It's dark. Look at it. It's dark. I've got to eat dinner. And so I have to imagine that people are eating dinner earlier, probably up to an hour earlier than normal because of the darkness. All right, well, I got to bounce out of here, but guess what, folks? I will be back Sunday, 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, twitching it up. I might have a special guest, a guy that is involved with spatial mapping, and we might talk about some big issues with VR and AR and stuff like that. May have some interesting discussion. It might happen this Sunday. I can't promise it, but if it doesn't matter. I got other stuff to talk about anyway. I'm going to be talking about Pistolwhip regardless. I will be giving you guys my Pistolwhip impressions Sunday. I'll also be giving impressions on some other stuff as well. Dement, maybe some other games as well. So tune in Sunday on Twitch, 11:30 a.m. See you guys then. I got to get the hell out of Dodge. We'll see you guys then. Everybody have a great weekend. Remember, it's a free weekend for, what game was it? Pavlov or something? It's a free weekend for somebody. Check it out. I'll see you guys then. Everybody have a good one. Take it easy. Later.